Welcome back to Young Tripp Reactions.
You're watching Young Tripp Reactions, the show where rapper Young Tripp reacts to the latest videos on crime, drama, news, and so much more. Get ready, because the show's about to start. Let's go.
And that's the part that really ticks me off. The fact that she has a disability and they allow this mess to go down. Regardless of a disability, this should not be happening. But the fact that she has an intellectual disability and these uncivilized mutt parents allowed this mess to go down. That's why they're on Young Tripp Reactions. What do you mean it isn't the first time? Bruh. $500,000 to join a club. Come on now, man. That club better have everything in it to pay that much money. Come and smoke some meth with me. He told minor children that. You know he said more if he said that, y'all. This relative was defending his family, and he's sitting in jail. You know me as an activist that I have to react to something like this. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, join the Young Tripp family. If you have any videos that you run across that fit the channel, post them in my community tab or send it to me over on Instagram. If you have anything personal that you have going on that you may want me to bring some more awareness to, send me a direct message over on Instagram and we can see if it fits the channel or fits something that I want to bring awareness to.
You can also send those things to Young Tripp's Facebook, and make sure you follow him on both those things. All links will be below.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Such a damn shame. Let's get into this. Welcome back to Young Tripp Reactions. The next video we're gonna do is teenager is facing life in prison, and we're gonna go over the evidence to see if this is right. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and join the Young Tripp family. If you have any videos that you run across that you want to hear me react to on the channel, post it in my community tab or send it to me through direct message on my professional FB or my professional Instagram. Also, make sure you come follow me over on my professional FB and my professional Instagram, because I post over there as well too. If you have any situations involving police misconduct, injustice, violations of civil rights, involving you, a friend, or a loved one, send that to me through direct message on my professional FB or my professional Instagram as well too. Let me know about the civil rights attorneys involved, similar to Ben Crump or Ben Crump himself. Let me know about the activists that are involved so I can join them in the fight for justice for you or your loved one. If it does involve a friend or a loved one, see if they want to come on the channel and see if they want to speak about their situation. If they don't, then they can write a statement if they want, and I can get it out there that way for them. That will work too. Or you can come on and speak for them as a friend or relative. That works as well too. Either way works. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and join the Young Tripp family. And let's get into this.
A black teen is facing a life sentence despite questionable evidence. And I want to go over the evidence with you, let you decide. Put it up full mass.
Put it up full mass, Jordan.
Atlanta Black Star did a great job on this story. It was Christmas Eve, 2024, when a 14-year-old black teen named Jawan Walker was shot to death inside a car in Delaware. His mother, Victoria, who was in the car with him, told police that two black boys approached them and one of them, wearing a surgical mask, opened fire. Dover police arrested two black teens 4 days after this incident. Very sad and tragic, obviously. Tyrese Miller, 15 years of age, and Marlo Tolliver, 13 years of age, charging them with several felonies. The 13-year-old Tolliver accepted a plea deal shortly after his arrest and was sentenced to 2 years. But Miller, that is Tyrese Miller, 15, refused to accept the plea deal, maintaining his innocence and pointing to an alibi. His former girlfriend and her family, who told police he was at their home on Christmas Eve, 4 miles from the murder scene. Now, there are some who will say, well, what about the other person who made the plea deal? Let me remind everybody of the exonerated Central Park 5. That started with the plea deal. It started with the plea deal. It started with very skilled detectives interrogating an unskilled, immature child and getting that child to agree to a plea.
And then you got to factor in the whole thing about the brain development, as we know, as it states that most people, don't have a full developed brain to make sounding decisions until at least around 25 years old. And at this time, you're talking about a 15-year-old. So just because he pled, you could be like, well, you could just ask him, was the other person there? But then the question regarding the 15-year-old would be, was he really there? Or was he just terrified and just pled? Even though if you have like smart parents that would say, no, don't plead to this. If you weren't there, don't put yourself in it. You don't know what somebody's family background is, how much involved their parents are. Now, could he have really been there? Yeah. Could he say if the other person was there? Yeah. But again, you start thinking about snitching and all that, and maybe he was there and maybe he did this crime with other friends, if he even did it at all. Again, we're talking about a 15-year-old. I mean, there's even adults. As a person who always wanted to be a homicide detective, and I've sat down with homicide detectives in my life. I've met plenty of homicide detectives in my life. I've even dated a homicide detective's daughter. Obviously me wanting to be one as well too. Just think about when you sit down with somebody and somebody's grilling you, claiming that you did something. Even for people who have watched the first 48, this, right? When you sit down and have an interview with somebody and they're saying you did something and you're like, no, it really wasn't me. I really wasn't there. Now, they may have the evidence, and a lot of times when you get interrogated and get brought into an interrogation room, usually they already have the evidence. They have you on camera. They have a witness statement. Of course, witnesses could lie, but again, they're hoping that the person is not lying, and all that. And you could be arrested, and that's why we also have the project for helping defend people's innocence if they really are wrongly convicted. That's the reason why we also have that as well too. So again, you're talking about minors, you're talking about people that don't have full developed brains, and being grilled by skilled detectives to admit that they did something, even if they didn't do it. So he could have admitted it, even though he didn't do it, he could have admitted it, or he did it with some other friends and it wasn't with this particular friend. and still did it, or the other friend is lying and he really wasn't with his girlfriend and they really went and did it. So yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and join the Young Tripp family. But if you've never been in a room and been grilled by detectives, or never watched something like the first 48 before, you will never know what this is like. Let's continue. Or for a person who's never, if you also never wanted to be a police officer. So like me, I've always wanted to be a police officer, and I've watched a lot of these shows. So, of course I know, and I've sat down with detectives and no detectives. And again, I dated even a homicide detective's daughter. Let's continue.
And then they took that and getting that child to agree to a plea. And then they took that plea to get the other children to agree to a plea. And that's how you got your miscarriage of justice with the exonerated Central Park 5. They were children.
This is the biggest secret of 2026,
Advertisement,
and they don't want you to know about this.
If you want to qualify for a huge check like this one, here's how. Give me 30 seconds, and I'll show you what thousands of accident victims
who were due plea. And that's how you got your miscarriage of justice with the exonerated Central Park 5. They were children who were duped. By rejecting the plea deal, Miller now faces the possibility of life in prison if convicted, because prosecutors have decided to try him as an adult. Miller has remained incarcerated since his arrest and is scheduled to go to trial on August 10th on charges of first-degree murder, first-degree conspiracy, possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a person prohibited. Quote, he's been in there for 2 years for a murder he did not commit, said Miller's mother, Davida Lopez, in an exclusive interview with Atlanta Black Star. Quote, there has definitely been prosecutorial misconduct as well as police misconduct, end quote. Court records show Dover police used, quote, coercive interview tactics, end quote, during his investigation, violating Miller's Miranda rights by misleading him about the purpose of the questioning. Records also show police failed to inform his mother why they were interrogating him, which is another violation, but this time.
Yep, that's a violation as well, too. Also, in certain places, though, you have to realize what the state guidelines are regarding being able to interview somebody and all that as well, too. But in most states, yeah, it would probably be considered wrong to do that, because I even just stated that earlier, that what about the parents being involved or being there to give him guidance along with an attorney? I already kind of went into that a bit as well too. So yeah, you do have some police officers and uncivilized police officers that, this victim looks like my nephew, my niece. I've stated that in other videos about other things. We're just going to arrest somebody who looks different than us and throw them in jail and accuse them of the crime. And you can't do that. The homicide detectives and people that I've met, most of them have been cool and really tried to solve the cases. But I know that there are uncivilized homicide detectives as well, too, just like there are uncivilized street officers. Let's continue.
It's a violation of state law. Also show police failed to inform his mother why they were interrogating him, which is another violation, but this time it's a violation of state law. Even worse, Lopez revealed that she had not seen her son in a month after he ran away until she was notified by police that he was in custody, but they did not specify why. Lopez said the ordeal began in November 2024 when the young Miller ran away from home to live with his 16-year-old girlfriend and her parents. She reported him as a runaway, and although officers tried multiple times to locate him, she did not hear anything until December 28th, 2024, when police called to say they had him in custody. Detective Gunnar Gold told Lopez they were holding Miller on a warrant, basically for a missing or truancy affidavit, and the court date was asked, and truancy court date, and asked for permission to question him as required by state law. Now, once again, a truancy warrant or a truancy arrest or being detained for truancy and being questioned about truancy is completely different than being questioned about a murder.
Facts. Let's continue.
And you don't blur the line. Being detained for truancy and being questioned about truancy is completely different than being questioned about a murder. And you don't blur the line. State law is very specific as it relates to the interrogation of a minor. There's more. However, Gold did not tell her they intended to question this child about a murder, leading her to believe the questioning would focus only on truancy, which she reported in order to get her son back. Inside the interview room, Detective Gold spent just 18 seconds rushing through Miller's Miranda rights while framing the conversation as related to truancy. Once questioning began, Gold and Detective Wood shifted to the killing of Walker and told Miller another teen had implicated him in said killing. Quote, "That don't got nothing to do with me," end quote, Miller responded. He repeatedly requested his mother, but detectives refused to bring her in. He's a minor.
These are uncivilized homicide detectives. These are not people that I would want to be working with. He requested his mother. You didn't bring his mother. You only spent a few seconds to a few minutes talking about the truancy and then started accusing him of unaliving somebody. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Let's continue.
End quote, Miller responded. He repeatedly requested his mother, but detectives refused to bring her in. He's a minor, and what the detectives are doing is prohibited. There's more. After more than 3 hours of questioning, unlawful questioning, police finally allowed Ms. Lopez into the room. She immediately demanded to know what physical evidence justified arresting her son for murder. Detectives claimed they had, quote, ample evidence based on witness statements, even though those statements came from other suspects. Miller never confessed. His legal team moved to suppress his statement. Delaware Judge Renita L. Green Street granted the motion, suppressing any statements Miller may have made during the interrogation. However, the judge denied a separate motion from Miller's attorneys seeking to transfer the case from Superior Court, where he is being tried as an adult, to family court because he happens to be a juvenile. Quote, the state opposes that transfer, contending the seriousness of the allegations and the juvenile's treatment needs render transfer inappropriate. She wrote, the state has not provided proof positive or presumption great that Mr. Miller used, displayed, or discharged firearm, a failure on this evidentiary record that undercuts many of the allegations against Miller. Keep the judge up. I want to read this again. I'm going to read it slower. The state opposes that transfer, contending the seriousness of the allegations and the juvenile's treatment needs render transfer appropriate. She wrote, the state has not provided proof positive or presumption great that Mr. Miller used, displayed, or discharged a firearm, a failure on this evidentiary record that undercuts many of the allegations against Mr. Miller. Although Jawan's mother, Victoria, initially told police she saw two, now remember this is the witness, she saw two boys approach the car.
Can this company use your house to trial their radically simple new window technology?
They're looking for homeowners within valid states to test this innovative drone window service.
Right now.
Professional technicians will take care of everything. Inspection, quote.
Although Jawan's mother, Victoria, initially told police she saw two, now remember this is the witness, she saw two boys approach the car. Investigators later claimed surveillance video actually showed 3 individuals approach the car. Police said they made a breakthrough after receiving a tip from a girl who recorded an Instagram call in which Tolliver allegedly bragged about participating in the shooting. Police executed a search warrant at the brothers' home where several juveniles were present and transported them to the station for questioning. During the search of the brothers' home, police recovered a .40 caliber ammunition matching shell casings from the crime scene in May's bedroom, along with clothing similar to that in which the witness described. Officers also found a notebook containing rap lyrics referencing the shooting. The brothers told police they planned to visit Miller's girlfriend home, a known hangout spot. The girlfriend and her parents told investigators Miller was there on Christmas Eve, making it unlikely he was involved in a shooting 4 miles away from that location. December 28, 2024. Dover police searched the girlfriend's home and found Miller asleep. Officers also recovered a glove containing gunshot residue, which they claim implicated him. But Lopez said the glove could have belonged to someone else, noting that multiple teams frequented the home, a claim the girlfriend did support. Quote, she confirmed Mr. Tolliver visited her the day after the shooting. End quote. Although the glove tested positive for gunshot residue, it did not contain Miller's DNA at all. Court records showed the child's mother, Jessica May, told police Miller was involved despite no physical evidence linking him to the crime. None. Tolliver also implicated Miller after giving contradictory statements about said events. Lopez believes others blamed her son in order to protect a 3rd child, in which video evidence shows 3 individuals were present. Michael Boyd, who resembles Miller and allegedly moved to Chicago after the shooting. Court records state that Lamar Cerez, an older brother of Tolliver and May, initially said his younger brothers left home on Christmas Eve with Boyd. May told police he was walking through Dover Park and Tolliver and Boyd near the scene of the shooting. However, he later amended his story to place Mr. Miller in the park instead of Mr. Boyd. Court records.
There's a lot of things just flipping and changing regarding equal statements. Let's continue.
Indicate this. He later amended his story to place Mr. Miller in the park instead of Mr. Boyd. Court records indicate this plainly. The pure mishandling of this, nothing else. Let's get out of the evidentiary phase just for a moment. The prosecutorial mishandle, the investigative mishandle is enough to give a seasoned defense attorney ample, as they say, opportunity to get the case dismissed on that alone. You have due process for a reason.
And I mean, the mishandling of this case is egregious. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is all over the place. Witness statements of what they saw, what color it was wearing, how many people was there. 2 people, now 3 people, now 4 people. No, now we're back to 3. Now it's back to 2. Now we don't know. The mother, everything was dark. I couldn't see their faces. All of this other stuff. A girl recording, it's just everywhere. Let's continue.
Process was violated here, get the case dismissed on that alone. You have due process for a reason. Due process was violated here, not once, not twice, maybe 3 times or more when you go through the evidence. Second, your evidence is flimsy. Contradictory statements, no physical evidence whatsoever, an actual alibi, reasonable doubt is the standard for a jury to consider. And if a person has an alibi in which the witnesses have not changed their testimony, no contradiction in his alibi, but there's contradiction in putting him there, well, that's reasonable doubt, easily. In addition to that, it seems as if somebody, some entity, some detective maybe, going out of their way to not be as transparent as humanly possible about all aspects of this case, and they rushed to judgment. Even the court said, you all have not provided evidence that shows this person held the gun, pulled the trigger at all. A failure of the evidence as it relates to your motion. We're going to stay on top of this, obviously. We will bring you updates as they come.
Watch football live
Advertisement,
with Fubo,
y'all.
plus over 200 top channels. Stream live TV and sports without cable. Anytime, anywhere.
That case, yeah, they rushed to judgment on that. I can investigate this case better than them with my eye condition. With the eye condition. It's absolutely insane that you're just rushing the judgment, more likely because the victim possibly looks like you, or because you just want to throw a person of color in prison. It is absolutely insane. He has a whole alibi that he was with his girlfriend. He was currently living with her, so he was basically at home, even though he ran away from his mother's house. But where he was staying, he was where he was, where he's been, with his significant other. We don't know about the whole situation about the other person. Again, I already stated, cops can drill you. Homicide detectives are no joke. That's why I always wanted to be one, because I'm no joke. And I just don't see it with this case. And like Rashad said, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. You can't be all over the place. This case is all over the place. If this goes through, it is definitely race motivated. If it gets any farther past, if a jury even convicts him on anything, it's because it was race motivated. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, join the Young Tripp family. If you have any videos that you run across that you want to hear me react to on the channel, post it in my community tab or send it to me through direct message on my professional FB or my professional Instagram. If you have any situations involving police misconduct, injustice, violations of civil rights, involving you, a friend, or a loved one, send that to me through direct message on my professional FB or my professional Instagram. If it does involve a friend or a loved one, see if they want to come on the channel, see if they want to give their story about whatever happened involving them, the police, or whoever it was. If they don't want to come on, that's fine too. They could write a statement, or you could write a statement for them or whatever, so we can get it out there, so we can push for justice for your loved one. Also, you could come on and talk for them as well too if you want. That works as well too. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and join the Young Tripp family. Also, make sure you come follow me over on my professional FB and my professional Instagram as well too. Let me know about the activists that are involved so I can join them in the fight for justice for you or your loved one. Also, let me know about the civil rights attorneys involved, similar to Ben Crump or Ben Crump himself. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace. This case is all over the place. If he's convicted, it is definitely race motivated.